Okay guys, we're back here for day 2 of your vlog video. If you recall from yesterday, we were working on this cell phone holder that allows you to play a car racing game, right? So kind of like a steering wheel, kind of arcade game setup. And where we got yesterday, we built kind of the stand and this whole structure of it. And again, it's not perfect. I think that there can be some improvements on this design. And that's what this whole design process is about, right? Is getting to mess around with stuff so you can figure it out, right? Before we make a finished product and it doesn't work, well, let's mess around with some cardboard and string and hot glue to figure out whether something's actually going to work, right? Like I think I saw some of you mention in the comments on yesterday's post that this could definitely be made out of plywood or metal or plastic or whatever, any other stronger material in the end. So let's figure out how it all works and how it all goes together before we use those more expensive and time-consuming materials. So what I did kind of off camera was get prepped a little bit here just because I had to use my phone as a reference point, and I'm actually recording this video on my phone. So I had to use my phone as a reference point to some shape and size of this thing. So I've got kind of our little carriage here that's going to pivot and provide the steering action. I have, just using found materials here, right? So I've got some yarn that I had laying around and some cardboard out of a shoebox, and this is the top to a coffee can. So, just using cheap found materials, I can come up with a 3D model of an object, right? Of a product. So I've got that, and then I've also got started this whole cage thing that's going to hold the phone up on this little spindly thing here, whatever you want to call these pieces, I don't know. So what I went ahead and did is I have 2 examples here. So if you can see my pencil marks on this one, so I took my phone and traced it, right, to get general size. It was quick. I didn't have to take any measurements, just traced it. But the difference between this piece and this piece is that on this one, I used 2 of the straight edges that already exist. So I'm not wasting a bunch of material, where this one I'm cutting it out of the middle, and then these little pieces in the end kind of become scrap pieces, so they're kind of wasteful. So anytime we're cutting anything, whether it's out of wood or metal or cardboard, we want to use as much of the material as we possibly can. So using this straight edge and this straight edge is a really good tip for model making, and then even woodworking or anything in the world of technology, right? Use the straight edges that you're already given if you can. So this is the piece that I'm going to use to cut the carriage, or I don't know what you want to call it, the cage that's going to help hold my phone up on this thing. So, just as you guys said in the comments yesterday, using the straight edge to make nice straight cuts is super important. So we'll keep practicing that skill. All right, I might not even round the corners. I've got the corners drawn on there, but I don't think that it's necessary. We'll find out. But I don't think it's necessary for this design that the corners be rounded like my phone is, or my phone case, just as long as it holds on to it. I am going to put 3 sides on this so that when I set it on there, it holds my phone from falling down. So I think I'll use this material to do that. And just getting some rough ideas of stuff here. Oh, let's make a mark here. And again, the same point as yesterday. I'm really just kind of playing around with this, being creative. In the coming weeks here, I will be working on some other projects for you guys that, we're just not going to get to at school. Some topics that normally I would have you guys work on at the school, but, whenever we get back, we're just not going to have a whole lot of time. So what I'm going to do is kind of go through the 7th grade curriculum. So that some of the things that we have not done yet that we need to do. Computer-aided design is one of them. So I will probably be making some videos some screen capture videos of my computer working on our CAD program, computer-aided design program. I will probably be working on that a little bit. So I'll give you guys some tutorials. And with those, you could, if at your house, if you wanted to, download the program, but you don't have to. Just by watching what I'm doing, I think you'll gain a little bit of an understanding of how it all works. I will also be doing some manufacturing things. So normally we go through the history of manufacturing, and I probably will. I have some cool demonstrations in mind that I can do. And lastly, if we need to get to it, our last unit of instruction is typically computer science and electricity and electronics. So I have some demonstrations in mind for future vlog videos for you guys. Again, I'm not really taking any measurements right now. I'm just referencing everything off of the existing things. That didn't cut nice. Probably cut that one again. I don't like how that one cut. If my knife becomes a little bit dull on the end, it starts to grab onto the material and pull it instead of cutting through it. So I might have to at some point change this blade, or probably switch over to the X-Acto knife, which is certainly much sharper. Now my plan here is, once I get this all assembled and you guys get to see the finished product, is to record from a different device me actually playing the video game. Okay, I've got my pieces cut here. Side and bottom. They're all about the exact right size here, so I'm going to hot glue those in, I believe. And I got my hot glue gun fired up and ready. So there's a couple ways that I can do this. I can glue it on the edge, which I'm going to try quickly here. And this way, I can stand it straight up. Now, in that video you guys watched of Adam Savage doing this work, he used those 1, 2, 3 blocks, those nice heavy big solid pieces of metal to hold this stuff up. And keeping time in mind here for you guys, so you don't have a hour-long video to watch, I'm just going to do this as quickly as possible. But also trying not to get giant amounts of hot glue everywhere. I got a little bit of trimming that I can do on this. Now the tricky part with this hot glue gun is that I don't have much time to get the part set on there before the hot glue cools, and then it is no longer sticky. So I'm going to tack some stuff in place here a little bit. Now, as a kid, I used to do this a lot. I used to take cardboard, old soda cans, cut them up, hot glue them together, and make cars and motorcycles and everything I could. And then when I was old enough to really mess around with actual tools and stuff, I think the model making that I did as a kid really helped me, because I had what I mentioned yesterday, that mind's eye. I could already see the 3D shape in my head before I ever made it. Again, this is a rough model. I'm not looking for true perfection here. I just want proof of concept. Is this design actually going to work? Now, we don't want it to be a big mess, so I'm being careful and choosing wisely where I put glue. We're going to come back and trim some of this out. Okay, I'm pretty happy with how that looks so far. So this is going to mount on there like so. The steering wheel will mount here, and everything will pivot on the axis of the steering wheel, so that as I rotate it, it moves my phone side to side. Okay, so I'm probably going to bring you guys back when this is kind of all assembled and I can show you how it all comes together.